Yo, what's good, guys? It's your main man, Coach Rich, Coach Babs. How you guys doing? Welcome to the Think Strong, Be Strong channel. Real quick, for those of you guys who've enjoyed watching my last few videos, please click the like and subscribe button, share, and tell all your friends. So, how do you deal with difficult people and difficult situations? Interesting. Take a seat. Let's talk about this. So, difficult people, difficult situations. Let's try and split it into two first. Let's go with difficult situations, and then we can talk about difficult people afterwards. How do you deal with a difficult situation? Well, I think some of us sometimes we might go in with the headstrong approach, just dive in 2 feet first, head first in, and deal with it as we get through it. Deal with it as we go along, and it can find yourself being more frustrating than it is rewarding. And then there are another set of us who might just stand on the sidelines for a bit. My question is, to those of you who are standing on the sidelines, what are you doing while you're standing on the sidelines? Are you allowing yourself to feel anxious about the situation because it's difficult, because it's challenging? Or are you taking a look at it from a different point to see what you're missing? Because most times I feel, especially from personal experiences, is that when you have a difficult situation or a troublesome situation, it's not because the situation is always so difficult or so troublesome. It's probably because we're going in with an approach that doesn't suit the situation that we're dealing with. And that there are many reasons for that. Lack of experience, lack of knowledge, lack of understanding, lack of exposure, or just full on YOLO, live fast, die young approach. You'll figure it out as you go through it, but that only seems to make the situation worse, or it takes longer to solve the problem. And to be honest, that's almost like you're winging it anyway, because when somebody asks you how you fix it, you're like, oh no, I just got lucky. So I find the best approach of difficult situations is taking a step back and looking at it for what it is. Take a different standpoint. Going from a bird's eye view approach, like a puzzle when all the pieces ain't fitting together. Take a step back. Sometimes the piece that you're looking for might be somewhere else on the floor around you didn't realize, because you're so fixated up close on the situation. My dad always used to make this comment when I was younger: the problem doesn't have a mouth, so it has no brain, so therefore it can't be smarter than you. And I always used to approach tasks with that saying, but with an element of stubbornness, in terms of it can't beat me, not in terms of the other aspects, which is it doesn't have a mouth, so it doesn't have a brain, so it can't be smarter than you. As my dad telling me, basically, be smarter than the situation. How do you get smarter than a situation? We'll get all the facts, do the research required, ask people who know about it or who've been there before you, and get the information required. Take a step back and look at it for what it is. Don't try and make it out to be anything other than what it is. Yes, it's difficult to do it at that point. Yeah, we've acknowledged that. Bam. So now let's take a step back and look at it for what it is, and then try to approach it differently. And you know what? If you've tried to approach it multiple times and you're just not getting the hang of it, walk away. Not every problem or solution you come across in life is for you to solely solve. Some situations are just for you to encounter, just to see what it is, but for another person, for you to probably bring another person along to solve it for you or solve it for them. It's not for you to always fix things. Most times it's for you to learn from something, whether you fix it or not, and find out what went right, what didn't go right, what you could have done better, what you didn't do, and then know that for next time when you come across a similar situation that could be troublesome, if you feel where I'm coming from. So when dealing with difficult situations, take a step back, try and get all the facts, try and learn as much as you need to learn about it, and trying to, for anything, get a fresh pair of eyes. It's not always about you. Sometimes you can only see one way and somebody else can step in and see something that you completely missed and then help you along the way. Asking for help is always a good thing too. There's no harm in asking for help. It doesn't make you weak or useless. It means you actually want to know more and you want to get better at dealing with that situation. So there's that. Now let's move on to difficult people. It's a whole different ball game. You can apply a similar approach, but it's a different ball game because you've got emotions, feelings, attitude, third person perception, different level of thinking, to deal with. You ain't just dealing with a situation that can't talk back. You're dealing with a person who can't talk back. And you'll find that sometimes people become difficult or troublesome in a less desirable way, being a real ass because of things like rejection, pain, or past experiences where certain things are triggering memories, and you can tell who's not being difficult on purpose, but they're having a difficult time adjusting to being around you or being with you. And you can see somebody who's just want to make your life difficult on purpose, and they can come from a bad breakup. That can come from wanting not to no longer do business with that person, so you want to buy them out. It can come from a friendship that didn't end the way you want, a marriage that didn't end the way the other person wanted, and they want you to feel the way they're feeling in that point. So now they're gonna make your life trouble. Maybe you've got kids with that person, so now they're gonna make your life hell. They're gonna stop you from seeing the kids because they want you to feel what they're feeling. You understand, some people, when they don't like rejection, they can't deal with rejection the way you'd expect them to be. I mean, who wants to be told or let to feel like they ain't good enough for the task at hand? Nobody likes that, and it takes wisdom and a level of self-awareness to be able to see that, okay, because the situation didn't go right, it ain't because I'm not good enough. It just means the situation is not for me, and there's no one out there is for me. But other people may not see it that way, and they'll take a rejection as awful, so they will make it hellish on you because they want you to feel what you're feeling. Now, you'll come across people who say kill them with kindness, which is great. Yeah, kill them with kindness, turn the other cheek. But what happens when both cheeks are getting bruised? What happens when the only person you're killing with kindness is yourself because you're miserable and you're unhappy and this person is not letting up? Then what do? You don't take a baseball bat to them, that's one thing. And they say, well, fight fire with fire. Well, if you understand the concept of fire, you can't aim fire at just one place. Fire burns everything. Fire destroys everything in the wake. So if you try to fight fire with fire, everything is getting burned, you included. So everything is being consumed by this fire as well. So that ain't gonna always work. Or it ain't gonna work, period. So don't fight fire with fire either. So so now you're like, well, I can't fight fire with fire, and I can't kill him with kindness. What can I do? First, understand, it's not you, it's them. It sounds cliche, but it ain't you, it's them. A lot of people can't deal with rejection. They take rejection personal. You can't, me and you be in a relationship, and then you tell me that it's not working out, or I tell you it's not working out, and let's go our separate ways. Or me and you go into business together, and I said, you know what, I don't think this is gonna work the way we both planned, so let's just call it quits here. I'll go into business for myself, or I'll go into business with somebody else. Here's what they hear. Also, I'm not good. You're not really good enough for what I need you to be, so I'm gonna go find something better. That's what they hear. It's not like in a bad way. It's basically what it translates to some people is, you ain't good enough, I need something better. Now you're gonna be like, are you gonna tell me I'm not good enough? Oh, you know something better? Or so now you think you're better than me. These are thought processes that go through their mind at first. So now they're gonna be like, well, how dare you? So now, but I'm gonna show him, I'm gonna make him feel like how I feel. So they wanna pull you into the place that they feel to make them feel better. You imagine the concept of a person taking a walk somewhere, like you're both walking on this journey, and then all of a sudden you realize that the path that they want to go on and the path you want to go on ain't the same. So you're like, well, I don't want to go that way. And they're like, well, I'm not going that way. They're like, all right, so let's go different ways. So now they end up in some shit, like quicksand, and they stuck. And they're yelling your name, and they're yelling you, and they're saying all kinds of stuff to get your attention, because that's what it is first, they want your attention. So you let up, and you turn and you give them the attention. So now, as you're giving them the attention, you're coming closer to where they are, so you can hear better. And they're getting what they want now, because they got your attention. Now they're trying to get you over into their place. Now when you're over in their place, they act like you feel like, oh shit, they're in pain, like they're having a problem dealing with this situation, with this news. So you want to help them, but they know what they're doing. So now you reach in to try and pull them out the quicksand. Now the more you try to pull on them, they're pulling on you, right? Now you find out you got to go in a little bit deeper to get a better grip to pull them out. But they know what they're doing. They want to get out. They want to bring you to where they are. So now they pull you closer and closer. Now that you climbing over you, they're climbing on you and on stepping over you to get out of the situation, because now you're in the quicksand too, and they know that the only way to get out is to use you to get out and make themselves feel better, or to put them in a better place. So now they're out on stable ground now. You in the quicksand, you in the place of despair and pain, or whatever it is that they were feeling or experiencing. You now there. They're out where they want to be. What's the point? Well, they wanted you to feel what they're feeling. Now they're going to pull you out when you get to the point where you're like trying to get their attention because you bitter and you're upset at that point. Nah, they're going to walk off. They don't want to be where you are. So how do you deal with that? Well, first things first, you got to understand that it ain't nothing personal in you, it's on them. And it's for them to deal with the situation. It's for them to either talk to you and work with you to get from that place that they're in to a better place without having to hold on to you and make you the, without you having to return to the place that you were, that you didn't want to be in. Or leave them to find their own way out. After a while, they'll stop. I mean, you can be nice and offer to help, but don't offer to put yourself where they are so they can feel better, because it doesn't do anything for you. So you can offer to help, but when you see, and you really got to look at them for what it is, and you can have a look and be like, okay, this person just wants me to be where they are, because clearly they'll be in a better position if I feel what they're feeling. That it's not benefiting me, but it's benefiting all of them, because they just want me to feel what they're feeling. It's not like they're in a difficult situation and need my help. They want me to be where they are because they will be in a better place. You don't want to be climbing in quicksand, letting them climb all over you to get out, and then you sinking and they're walking on a different path, the path that you were already on. Don't do that to yourself. So my advice is, I'm not a guru, I'm not a specialist, but I've had experience in this area. And I find sometimes just ignore the situation. You don't need to ignore the person to ignore the situation. Ignore the situation. Ignore the negative words that will come out their mouth, or the stuff that is trying to get you back up to get your attention, because that's what it's for. It's to get you back up to get your attention. It's for you to shift your focus on what is good for you to what is not beneficial for you. And once they know that they've got your attention, they've got your focus, and you're now there, they can go off and do their thing, because the point is, what they're trying to achieve is done. Difficult. Everybody has their insecurities, and everybody has their reasons why they lash out and they act like an ass, or they need genuine help. Everybody has their points, but not all of them are written across the forehead. So like a puzzle, I guess, or like a situation, you have to take a step back and look at everything for what it is first before you walk in there and attempt to dive in head first, thinking that approach is always going to win, because it ain't always going to win. Sometimes you're going to find yourself in a casualty more than being the winner, because you've dived in head first. You're not taking a look at the situation, you're not taking a step back, not gather the facts. And yes, life is not as linear as that, where everything is just facts and figures. No, life isn't that linear, but with all the curveballs you get thrown in life, at one point you must know, or must have an understanding of which pitch is which, so you can know where you can hit the ball out the park, or know where to duck and take the strike. Do you know what I mean? Don't be just swinging aimlessly all the time in life. Aim and then swing and then hit. But that's going on to a different topic, which we will address at another point. So I guess my final thought for this is, when you're dealing with a tough situation or a difficult person, maybe take a step back and look at everything for what it is. Decide what you're gonna, how you're gonna approach it, and approach with caution. And if it's a difficult person who just wants to be an ass and make your life hell because they're in quicksand that they voluntarily walked in themselves, maybe think twice before you decide that you want to jump in the quicksand to save them, only to find yourself stuck and them walking off and enjoying themselves, getting you where they wanted you. Anyway, guys, like I always say, live your life one step, one rep at a time. Enjoy the bank holiday weekend. Think strong, be strong, and impossible is nothing. Peace.